All right, so here's the deal. We're in a little bit of a liminal space right around the corner from my house. This is a municipal park that is just around. They did a big redesign of it a few years back. Like did a survey about, hey, of the three options that we could do with this space, which of you guys are the most keen on? And I think people pick this sort of like weird, like flowery garden space, kind of in homage to we're like inside the footprint of what was once a church. But obviously it's gone, and so they planted a bunch of shit, and they've got this space. But it's weird because it's right next to. Let me switch up the camera thingy. I guess I'll have to do that in another clip. But it's weird. It's right next to this drag here, and right across these train tracks. So these things right here are train tracks, and so across the train tracks is the Westerpark, which is one of the bigger parks here in Amsterdam. So, there we go. See? Train tracks. Thank you, nature, for exposition. And, yeah. So, there's a plaque. Ferdinand Domela Nieuwenhuis. Amsterdam, 1846. Hilversum, 1990. Is een van de oprichters van de Nederlandse socialistische beweging. Hij studeerde theologie, and so this dude Ferdinand was one of the Ferdinand Domela Nieuwenhuis was one of the guys who bootstrapped the socialist movement here in Amsterdam. Hij studeerde theologie in Amsterdam en was een aantal jaren Luthers predikant, onder andere Friesland. Hij stapte echter uit de kerk en werd een actief vrijdenker. So he preached, it looks like, in Friesland under the Lutheran label, and he left the church and became a free thinker. Domela Nieuwenhuis was een bevlogen spreker. In het Volkspark, nu Hugo de Grootplein, hield hij geregeld redenvoeringen, waarin hij die onrechtvaardige verhouding in de maatschappij aan de kaak stelde en de arbeiders opriep om in verzet te komen. So he used to preach in this place that is now known as the Hugo de Grootplein, and he would talk about the injustice in the community, and would encourage laborers to resist. Wegens majesteitsschennis heeft hij nog een half jaar in de gevangenis gezeten. So he was actually, he went to prison for a half year because of some shit. Dat gaf veel onrust in het land, en toen hij door gratie van koning Willem de derde vervroegd vrijkwam, onthaalde 10,000 socialisten hem met groot enthousiasme in het Volkspark. So this guy became a bit of a martyr because he went to prison, and the king released him because people were freaking out. And 10,000 socialists came to greet him in the Volkspark. In 1888 wordt Domela Nieuwenhuis in het Nederlandse parlement gekozen en was daar 4 jaar een actief volksvertegenwoordiger. Hij keerde zich tegen gedwongen winkelnering en probeerde vergeefs de invoering van algemeen kiesrecht af te dwingen. In de loop der jaren verloor hij het vertrouwen en de mogelijkheden van de parlementaire democratie en werd hij anarchist. Hij keerde zich tegen de 5 K's: kerk, koning, kapitaal, kazerne en kroeg. What? Okay. So, at some point, he was in the sort of political process, but he basically got burnt out and became an anarchist. And he fought against the 5 K's of the church, the king, capital, kazerne, and kroeg. I think kazerne is like concern, so I think that has to do with like organizing for enterprise, and kroeg, kroeg is like cafes, right? So like that's a bold stance to like be against the cafe. I don't know if I could get behind that, but all right, let's keep reading. In 1931 kreeg Domille Nieuwenhuis designer nagedachtenis een monument aan het Nassauplein, bij het begin van het Westerpark. Daar staat hij nog altijd, met zijn vuist in de lucht. Okay, so in the Nassauplein, near the entrance from the Westerpark, so that's, over yonder, that's him, actually, with his fist raised in the air. No shit. Okay. I mean, I cycle by the statue all the time, but I have no idea. But now I get it. So I think the struggle has been real in Amsterdam for a hot second. Van 1891 tot 1967 stond op deze plek de parochiekerk van de Heilige Maria Magdalena. Het kerkgebouw was een ontwerp van Pierre Cuypers, ook bekend in het Rijksmuseum en het Centraal Station. De Magdalenekerk werd gezien als een hoogtepunt in het oeuvre van Cuypers en van de neogotiek in Nederland als geheel. Wegens probleem met het fundament werd de kerk in 1967 gesloopt. Op verzoek van de buurt werd de braakliggende terrein in 1973 ingericht als speelplaats en ik kreeg de naam Domille Nieuwenhuis Plantsoen. So, basically what this says is, at this space there used to be this church that was designed by the same guy, Pierre Cuypers, who also did the Rijksmuseum and the Central Station. The church unfortunately had problems with the foundation and was torn down, and about 5 years later it was turned into this sort of park space and a playground. Vanaf 2004 bedacht de gemeente verschillende bebouwingsmogelijkheden voor het plantsoen. Velen in de buurt waren daar ongelukkig mee. In 2008 drong de buurt een referendum af over de voorgenomen bebouwing. Na jaren van de bewoners inzet daartoe besloot de gemeente in 2016 het plantsoen groen te laten en een flink opknapbeurt te geven. Op het plantsoen verwijzen verschillende elementen nog naar door de voor veel bewoners dierbaar Magdalenekerk. Alright, so in 2004 the municipality was like, well, we got this empty space here, why don't we build some shit? But people were like, fuck all that. And so they turned it into this space in 2016. So that was the participatory, quote-unquote, process that I took part in. I just moved here at that time, and they gave me a survey of what I could. So I jumped in on the end of this. Op het plantsoen verwijzen verschillende elementen nog naar de voor veel bewoners dierbaar Magdalenekerk. So, at any rate, that sounds like a load of horseshit. Because they basically say, oh, we tried to preserve the vibe of the precious Magdalena Church, which was gone, fucking 40 years ago, 50, I mean, at this point, 60 years ago, 50 years ago? So, whatever. Bij het opknappen van het plantsoen in 2018-19 is daar een kunstwerk van metalen bogen bijgekomen. Peter Ulle en een verwijzing naar het koor van de kerk van Cuypers en een ontwerp door de koorvloer. Alright, so basically they made it this park and this is what it is right now. But it's just, it's space here in an urban center that is very near another park, and it's space, so let's check it out. Alright, so this is one of the Spaarndammer tunnels. So that tunnel goes to the sort of core of the center, and immediately as you exit that tunnel, you go into the Westerpark. And then we come to this tree, and then, like I said, we've got some space. So it's a nice little little garden area, right? We've got some hydrangeas, we've got some fucking lavender, we got some these little roses. We've even got some, what is this? This is rosemary. More lavender. We've got this camperfouli. What the fuck is camperfouli in English? I don't know what it is. It's like this vine. It stays relatively green and has these nice little flowers for like forever. But as you can see, it's like not, I mean, this is winter, so of course it's dead. Here's some more flowers, hydrangeas. I mean, it's just mostly ornamental, right? And over here we can see that we've got some empty space next to whatever this thing is. We've got some more empty space underneath this big ass tree, so the canopy is secure. What can we do now? This, if I'm not mistaken, this looks like I think this, no, maybe this might be like Jerusalem's artichoke, which would be dope if that's there, because you can just eat that shit. And you know, we've got some, what are these, hyacinths? Or, nay, this is narcissus. Yeah, but yeah, all right. And we got some grass, we got a random ass picnic table. The thing is that this space, like I said, is just sort of like kind of liminal by nature. Like nothing really happens here. Rosemary's popping off, more lavender, some naked ground. Very interesting, the naked ground. Like that's a bit of a shame. And we've got some like leaf litter accumulating over here, help giving us ground cover, feeding the soil. Good. Some nice little tree, happy tree. And like I said, just some space, right? Lots of grass. The thing is, how do I describe this? This space, I've never seen anybody chill here other than those dudes. And like, let's not like dox them or anything or shame them or whatever, but you know, sitting around drinking in the park, you know, it is let's do the math. It is now 9:15 in the morning. Oh yeah, check it out. That is the sculpture that was in the thing. So this is the nod to the old church. And if you notice there's a fountain. So there's water, there is space, there's access to daylight, and there's this really interesting little spot here yonder, adjacent to this park, right? So there's this cycle path that goes right next to the train tracks, and this space right here, this strip of green, right, that you see kind of just whatever happened, has actually been earmarked by the municipality for rewilding, in a sort of way. I don't know what the details of it is, but we've got ourselves a little plaque that gives us some surface area of the intention. That is this guy right yonder. Natuurvriendelijke zone. Bijen en vlinderplanten in ecologisch beheer. So this basically says, hey, this is like a little rewilding natural space. You know, we have plants that are nice, happy for bees and for butterflies. That is in ecologisch beheer, that is being managed in an ecological way. And so we've got ourselves a vlinderstruik. I don't know what that is in English. And we've got, I mean, it just seems kind of like whatever. Maybe that's some more Jerusalem artichoke all the way down there at the end. But we've got ourselves an opportunity space, right? And like I said, this space is pretty liminal. I've never seen anybody actually hang out and chill here, because the Wester Park is huge and is immediately across that set of train tracks. And then of course, like we've got, like, look, there's shit tons of like ivy growing up there, which is cool. I mean, it's just growing, so let it grow. But like, can we dream another dream? So that's what we got here in this space. We got lots of trees, big ass old trees, some smaller trees. We got some bare earth, and we have access to both water and sky. So this is sort of south-ish, west-ish. That is where the sun sets, and that is where the sun rises. And what can we make possible in this space on a hope and a dream? For sure, I intend to drop some seed bombs in here after the 22nd. And like, I'm just curious what a little bit of love and tenderness can do to this space. Anyway, that's what's up. Kisses.